All right. So thank you so much. So those of you who are joining also, hi everyone. My name is Dr. Shahriar. I hope so everyone is doing well. So I have a very special guest today with me. So it's Dr. Tamanna. So I'll give the floor. So I'll be just host today. Most of the time I keep talking. So the good day to keep yourself a little quiet and hear something very nice from Dr. Tamanna. So I hope so you guys know already about the today's session, and today's session is about uh, becoming a consultant physician in UK. That is that Mrcpch. Please correct me if I make any mistake in any of the terms and the things, because I don't know much about this one, but I have the right person to talk about this thing. So I'd just like to welcome Dr. Tamanna here right now, right way. So welcome, Dr. Tamanna. So if you are here, so maybe, okay, so here, yeah, thank you for coming.
Yeah, right, thank you, Bear. Thank you for today's nice session.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Shall we start?
Yes, we can start actually the session. I think we'll go and a few of the basic things, as like most of the seminars we do. If there is an exam, for what purpose this exam is, for whom this exam is important, then a few basic things comes like what is the format of the exam, how many parts, and also, of course, very important thing is, the costing. Everyone is concerned about that thing, that, how much is the cost? Is it possible to really, is there any success history? So this, a lot of type of things, comes often actually. And Dr. Tamanna already has, passed this exam, and, she's been also teaching this one. So she's the very right person to talk about this one and what type sort of inquiries comes. Yeah, so we're just going to start. We'll come again. And I think, better you just talk about that one than I, keep going with some of the slides. So that'll be better, I think. So I'll give you the floor now about this, talk a few minutes about this Mrcpch, then we'll get into the slide as long as you will tell me. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Bhaiya, for giving me this opportunity to talk to this big platform in Shahriar's Medical Academy. And I have came here today to talk about some important points that many international and also students from Bangladesh, they ask us, like we are the medical teaching providers. So first of all, this Mrcpch, what is Mrcpch? Is it a degree, postgraduate degree? What is the prospect? We will highlight today. Yeah. So Mrcpch is not a degree actually. Okay, it is a membership exam. Right. By this exam, you can become a member of Royal College in UK. So Mrcpch also has in Ireland. That is a different exam. Similar pattern, but this is different exam. So I would like to tell you that whenever you are planning to give Mrcpch, be sure that this is not a degree. This is a membership exam. But many countries use this exam as post-graduation qualification, like in Arab countries, also like in Australia, in Canada, they use it as a high prestigious post-graduation qualification. So this is not just a thing that you will get the license. No, it is a great opportunity to learn many things. You can learn many pediatrics. When I gave Mrcpch, I was already consultant in Bangladesh. Oh. Even then, when I gave Mrcpch, I could learn a lot of things, and I could guarantee you that if you have this degree, you are one of the most competent pediatricians. You can work anywhere in the world. So first of all, I'll tell that if you get this Mrcpch degree, what will happen after that? Now, if you want to work in Bangladesh or in India or in Pakistan, then you can work as a consultant. Many institutions, private institutions will hire you as a consultant. But the thing is, in Bangladesh College of Physicians and Surgeons, they still did not recognize it as a, like our FCPS or MD. But in UK, you can get the license. So you can get a job there, okay, as a registrar level. because Mrcpch is not the beginning level of exam. It is a registrar level of exam. And some work as a consultant even, because they have the experience already at back home. And when they get this degree, they already can work as a consultant, but that is a little bit rare, because working as a consultant in UK is I will say it is not a good idea. You should learn the system first. Okay. So now we will discuss it, how many parts. If you have any question before I go to the discussion, you can ask us. Or Shahriar bhai, if you have any
questions.
Yes,
I do have a lot of questions. Yeah, so thing is actually, doctor was telling about the prospect and a lot of aspects. I think this is that slide actually doctor was mentioning actually some of the countries. A lot of things, also those are very junior and maybe fifth year and just become doctor. They also have some of these kind of doubts. Even many of them think in the same way about I think the Mrcp and Mrcs. So they also think like that's also is a degree, but basically it's also not, right? I mean, if I'm not mistaken actually. So that's like, it's a gateway, to be honest, to enter into that pathway and the system. Yes. Then you become the actual fellow. Mostly they use the word fellow. I mean, those, when we talk about actually big physician and things like, they become actually the fellow. But this is the way to get into. You still need to do training, if I'm not mistaken, actually. But yes, I think Dr. Tamanna will tell more things. Like even if you go through the Mrcp, still there is a part like training part, which we call the specialist training part, that is required. Like from the Mrcp background, which I know that still you have to go through those training pathways. Actually, the same, I guess, it goes with the Mrcpch, if I'm not mistaken, Dr. Tamanna. But like we do need training, right? After going to UK, after passing these exams. So we have to go and do the remaining training there actually, and get into that specialist pathway and all these things actually. Now, one of those questions that often jumps actually, as like even all the Mrcp doctors and also PLAB doctors, they also ask, what is the quickest way? Like, should we get through the PLAB and then enter with this one, or we finish the Mrcpch and then get into the UK? I know it's a little controversial question, but I'll just ask that one. But I'm sure you got this question so often.
Yes, exactly. This question is very often I am asked by the students. As I can tell you the shortcut answer of this question. If you have hurry in going to UK or doing job there, I mean, if you don't have any prospect in your home country, or you are not doing any work, you are just past MBBS, you have no training also, you can try PLAB. Okay, this I can tell you that. Yes, because this, just 1 minute.
Yeah, that's okay actually. So yeah, so doctor was talking about that, the pathway, how to enter, especially is the PLAB is the best way to enter, or the Mrcpch is the best way to enter. So the summarize as like, even in with the Mrcp content and the PLAB, because I've been also a PLAB tutor. So thing is actually that if you actually don't have any experience, very fresh graduate, I mean, you can still do the Mrcpch, but you can also get into UK and then you can do it. But if you have experience already, you have invested some of your time, you may be an already consultant or about to become a consultant, then I think this is the best shot, right, doctor, in that case?
Yes, exactly. So if you have hurry to go to UK, suppose you are moving due to family issue, many students has many issues, so they can go for PLAB route, because the only thing is different that PLAB is a very beginner level of exam. It takes less time for preparation, and it has only 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. But again, before going to PLAB, you have to pass the OET or IELTS. So in a sense, PLAB is also 3 exams. Like if you have to pass IELTS or OET, then you have to pass PLAB 1, then you have to pass PLAB 2. So it is equal to 3 exams. But in Mrcpch, we have part 1, part 2, and clinical, that is the final part. So it is also has 3 parts. But the thing is, Mrcpch does not require OET at the moment of exam. But after you pass Mrcpch, you need OET. to do the
securing the job.
Yes.
GMC, yes, GMC securing job, yes.
So the thing is, I will advise if the students are very junior level, like they are just past MBBS or have sort of some training like 6 months or 1 year, not so much. They did not do any post-graduation degree. They did not do any post-graduation in Bangladesh or India, Pakistan or anywhere. They can choose the PLAB route. It is good. But if you are planning to shift UK within 3 to 4 years, not now, within 3 to 4 years, you are doing some training in your home country, you are doing some post-graduation like FCPS, MD, better to choose the Mrcpch pathway because it will take some time, 2 to 3 years at least. And also, it is above the PLAB. Because with Mrcpch, you can directly work as a registrar, ST3, ST4.
Right.
But with PLAB, you cannot work ST3, ST4 unless back your home, you have a lot of experience, like a post-graduation degree.
Right. But still, you know, highest I have seen people enter into City 1, but of course not in specialist, right? I mean, the reality actually here, I mean, most of the people, those past PLAB exam, get into the foundation year training too. I mean, the 90%, if I'm mistaken. Some even does not have any training and anything. There is also a way called SGT exam by entering into the way called actually foundation year 1. And actually, otherwise, foundation year 2, that's most of the Asian doctors, they enter. Some cases, if you have experience, maximum City 1, but most cases, never the ST, unless, you know, exceptionally, I mean, you have a lot of experience, degrees and things like that. All right, so we'll get into now, actually, I'll little interrupt here, Dr. Tamanna, and maybe we can get into that format of the exam now, which I think you wanted to say more about coming up. So I think here you go. I think it's your floor now.
Yeah. So Mrcpch has 3 parts. Part 1 is a theory part and part 2 is also theory part. They have particular names like part 1 is we call TAS and FOP.
Yeah, TAS, I saw the name.
FOP, yeah. And part 2 we call AKP. So TAS and FOP means theory and science and foundation of practice. This is TAS and FOP. And part 2 is called AKP, that is applied knowledge in practice. So what is the difference between these 2 exams? Both are theory exams, MCQ based exams. They have different question pattern. What is this pattern? This is the most common question. So in TAS and FOP, our main concern is how much a student knows pediatrics at the basic level. Like any disease, whatever the disease, Turner syndrome or Down syndrome or diabetes, is the student knows the basic of the disease. I mean, what is the cause of diabetes? What is the cause of Turner syndrome? This is the part 1. Okay. And FOP exam is a little bit clinical exam, I will say. Like there will be some investigation, there will be some management, but very basic level of investigation and management. But in AKP exam, that is the applied knowledge in practice. That means you have already knowledge and now you know how to practice. This is the applied knowledge in practice. That means you know the interpretation of X-ray, you know the interpretation of genetics, you know the interpretation of lab investigation, you know the super specialist level of management, like first line management, second line management, tertiary management. So this is the applied knowledge of practice. And clinical exam, as we all know, in every country in the world, like USMLE, in PLAB 2, AMC 2, and then like the specialized exam in Bangladesh, FCPS, MD, the clinical exam format is same in everywhere. There will be some patient, there will be some scenario. So you have to examine the patient, you have to describe a procedure, you have to describe a theory, like we call it clinical governance. You have to tell the medical student about clinical governance. You have to tell the mother about the breaking bad news. Okay, you have to take history. You have to counsel the parents. You have to manage. You have to tell the examiner the management plan. Okay, there will be some scenario bedside, some scenario without patient. There will be some video stations. So these are all clinical exams. And I hope, as I gave exam in Bangladesh, that is FCPS, I find many similarity, like 60 to 70%, they are similar. Okay, the clinical exams are similar. So the students who already passed FCPS or MD from Bangladesh, or any country, India, Pakistan, they can easily go through this exam, clinical exam, also theory parts. So I would say that people think that, oh my God, this is a 3-part exam. I don't know how much I will pass or not, how I can do this vast procedure. Actually, it is not. When you start, it is end one by one. It will end one by one. And clinical exam also not a big deal. I can say that it is not a big deal. You can pass if you are committed. If you have that.
I would like to ask one question with your permission here. So, because, you have gone through that, FCPS exam thing in Bangladesh. So I think you're the right person to ask this one. So how much is it different? Like, that FCPS, that is the pediatrics one, and versus this Mrcpch one. So how much difference? Because many will like to know this thing, that, how much different, because maybe they're already in their preparation. Maybe they're already have, passed the FCPS one and already maybe going through the training, 2-3 years already gone. They're the right candidate for going for this exam, because utilize that time and, make the maximum out of it actually. So any advices for them, along with their preparation? Can they take the preparation of Mrcpch as well? Or is the right time to finish the whole FCPS and then, go with the this Mrcpch actually?
That is a very good question, because this is a career planning. Okay. And career planning as a medical student is, I will say, one of the life's most important decision. Okay. And what me and Dr. Shahriar will agree that we missed this opportunity because we had no career planners in our time, right? You will agree with me. We had no career planners.
So no guidelines, to be honest. Yeah, there's nothing available like this in YouTube, or, people are very lucky in some sense, but previously there was nothing, we have to collect books and other things. Would you believe that, early days in the lab, I heard one of my friend passed that one back in 2009 or 10 actually. And I was asking, what are the materials? And and there is a habit in people not sharing the informations. You must be agreed, you have seen that part now, because a lot of people are opening up. So other people are opening up, they're also making little videos. But there was a time everyone on that process, we were back in that time, that everyone is hiding information, and also the communication on the social media was not that powerful actually. So and people, I think you will be also agreed that people also used to hide a lot of information actually. So when I asked the friend, no, like just information was okay. I just went to some of the academy in UK actually. It's hard to tell what to study or not. You can just read Davidson. Now you also know that, Davidson is not something, the huge book to follow for lab. There is Oxford and a lot of concise things. Now there's a lot of other things are available. So much thing. But previously, if someone just tell you that, okay, just read Davidson, but the syllabus consists of medicine, surgery, gynae, obs, pediatrics, everything. So how come the person was referring me reading Davidson? At least should have tell 5 books name actually. So, and people don't want to, waste any time. And even I was telling, that was even a friend, when I was asking, she's not even ready to, share that information. So you can see, so this is missing. And in this kind of seminars, those of you, are not, thinking, okay, I will see that later. It's very rare. People share information, and Dr. Thomas is the right person to share this kind of, information. So we'll see that format now, Doctor. If you just tell more about the format, we'll get into that one now, actually.
Yeah. So before the format, I just want to say 2 or 3 lines about the FCPS and Mrcpch. That is the FCPS. When you are doing the FCPS, I will suggest you, when you are doing the part 1, please sit on the Mrcpch part 1 and AKP. When you are preparing FCPS part 2, please prepare for your Mrcpch clinical. That will be very good idea if you don't have financial issue, because most of the students in Bangladesh, I know they have financial issues, because they are doing honorary medical officer. I was in that situation few years back. So I know very well the situation was not so good. So you can do at the same time if you don't have financial burden. But I will say, even if you have financial problem, you just try. You just try to do part 1. and AKP, because this time will never return back. Okay, your life will go on, and you will be like growing 30, 40, and you will have only FCPS. So I would say that why not both the degree together? Why not? You give FCPS part 1 or MD part 1, you then sit Mrcpch part 1. Now in this COVID situation, last 2 years, exam is going on the online. So it was a very good opportunity. Many of my students, I think 200 or 300 students set exam in last 2 years, and maximum of them passed due to this online exams scenario, or they sit in the cafe or sit in the some internet area, good internet area, and they give exam. So I will suggest you that if you have the opportunity, please give part 1 together. And if you have passed part 1 and AKP, you will be very confident in your FCPS. You will be very confident in Mrcpch clinical. Okay, so this is the best suggestion I can give you. That this is the best career plan I can give you. That please sit the theory parts together. Please sit the clinical parts together. Okay, and now I'm coming on the structure of the question. This is the format of the question. So TAS and FOP, as I said, 2.5 hours each exam in 1 day. Similarly, AKP also 2.5 hours paper 1 and 2.5 hours paper 2. So both the TAS and FOP and AKP, you have to sit in the exam hall for 5 hours. This is a big matter of, patience.
Patience, yes.
Yeah, practice your patience, okay? Because 5 hours exam and 2.5 hours it will be the TAS in the morning, and then 2.5 hours will be FOP in the evening. There is a 2 and 2.5 hours gap, I think, for the refreshment. Similarly, in AKP, paper 1 and paper 2, you have a gap, 2 and 2.5 hours. I will suggest you please revise the Mrcpch TAS and FOP question from the Mrcpch website. Mrcpch website has given already the syllabus, okay? And they already told you that from cardiovascular, how many question will come, from respiratory, how many question will come. Okay, I will go next with the books, but first of all, you have to know the format of the exam. Like 5 hours exam, TAS and FOP, how many question will be there, how many marks will be the pass mark. This all you have to have a clear idea before going to the exam hall.
All right. Also, let's just also highlight that part. I mean, what's the exam fees at the same time because the structures, there's a lot of things to say about structure.
Yes.
So, but the exam fees maybe, but as you were telling, people are taking it online. Nowadays, a lot actually online exam that's possible. Now it's real. Yes, I can also tell being an MC instructor that AMC clinical is also happening online. Yeah, so I think there's 2 exams. I guess these are happening online. Another information about OAT. OAT is also happening online, but specific countries, not in Bangladesh, but many of the countries. That means from the laptop and the things you can take the exam. So that's also possible. So and there is a lot of security check and things. Camera, you have to be, has to be there, and they'll cross-check the things. But that's a different thing. And I think more details, I think this is the authorized website right above.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
This is the authorized website. In this website, you can make your exam account. In same website, you can get the exam news. I mean, exam is postponed, exam is going on, in which country is closed, everything is written in this.
Right. And this is the exam fees, like 500 to 550 pounds.
Yeah. Now it is 556 or something if you give both together. But if you want to give part by part, like in part 1 exam, TAS and FOP, you can divide. You can give TAS and FOP separately. You have to pass separately, both the exam. So you can give separately. That will cost a little bit more, like I think 580 pounds or something that will cost.
That's the average one you said, actually, 500 to 550. Okay, that's fine. Fair enough. And yes, all right. So that's the guys. I mean, that's like the exam fees for the Mrcpch. And previously, Dr. Thaman also talked about the exam format, TAS, FOP, and also AKT, that particular parts and exam. And individually, if we see paper 1, paper 2 all together, that's like a 5 hours exam overall, actually.
Yes.
And also, like, very important to mention, what are the times to appear in that exam? And is there centers available? I mean, we know that online is happening, But is it also, I mean, what's the news about the centers actually?
Yeah. So according to the last update, till now, online exams are going on, especially in Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, who are red listed countries.
Yes.
So they cannot travel. So the online theory exam is going on. You can give exam with the webcam open. There is 3 sessions per year. Yeah, 3 sessions per year. For part 1, it is February, June, and October. Yeah.
Okay,
and
very
for
important.
AKP, yeah, and in AKP, it is 1 month behind. That means January, May, and September.
Okay. All right.
Okay, these 3 sessions, yeah.
Okay, so after that one, I mean, there's more things coming up, especially that's about that similar exam format and, you know, especially making an account, you know, even same thing for PLAB, AMC, even if you go for your USMLE exam, the very important thing that comes with, I think, few of the things in those exams like epic verification, then, you know, opening up the portal account actually. I mean, you know, this example, like, you know, if you're a Facebook user, you need an account, you need to sign up initially. So just take it in that way lightly. Some people, you know, get very scared and, you know, they do sometimes, you know, unnecessary delay in that case actually.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, very important actually. So as you can see, like, you know, some of the important informations are given about the website. Okay.
Yeah.
And also after giving the, I mean, submitting all the things, it will take 10 days to verify your account actually. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
So they take, actually they take different times, you know, some students message me, madam, I did account yesterday.
True.
Today I got the email of verification confirmed. So that actually depends.
Depends on a lot of aspects actually. Yeah. I have seen with AMC. I mean, someone messaged me, doctor, you know, in just my 4 days it happened. Is it true? Yeah. Can it be happening? Oh, congrats, you know, should be relaxed. Yeah. It happened. And there are also students that, you know, it's like a 1 month past, 1.5 month past, is not happening actually. I can share one thing, like, you know, sometime, especially those are new medical actually, if someone is, you know, passed from a very new medical, it's very important to check first actually that, you know, whether their medical is listed or not. This is one of the information actually. But if the medical has a lot of histories, you are not the one of the first or second batch, in that case, you don't have to worry, I think. Yes, that's my suggestion.
Yes, exactly. Your primary medical, that is graduation certificate, should be authorized by the BMHC, that is the Bangladesh Medical and Dental Council. Right. And you have to make that primary medical qualification in the PDF format. And I will advise you during opening the account, please give your recent photograph and please upload the MBBS certificate. It will be very good. And give an permanent address that you know that next 10 years, it will be your permanent address like this, 10 or 20 years. Because don't give this, you know, this address changing is also very hazardous.
Yes.
And give a mobile number that is authentic. Okay, if everything is authentic, then I can say that it will take maximum 10 days. But sometimes due to their busy schedule or due to their some issues going on, like in the COVID situation, that can
COVID was
a little bit delay. But don't worry.
Also Christmas, I mean, to alert all of them that because Christmas and the beginning of New Year, I mean, those countries are mostly busy. Their offices are closed. They have school holidays. This is the only time they take longer breaks. So that's maybe, you know, if please check you are applying during their public holidays actually. So office might be closed actually in that case.
Yes, exactly. So during these times, as Dr. Shahriar said, during these times, they have some problems, but otherwise their service is very good, fantastic, smooth, and nobody has problems in exam. So it is very easy. I don't think anyone has.
Actually, you know, my personal experience with the students, these things are usually very easy, but you know, some people and some of the students have dependency habit. You know, there was a time their parents used to do all this thing. Then there's used to be a time there, some of the family members, some cases husband, and vice versa in that case. So, you know, over dependency is not good because, you know, at a time you have to deal with this, you know, particular things by yourself actually. So the more early you will get habituated with the, like, no, do not always ask any other, okay, how it's done. You know, you at least give a try. Very important, not only just making this account, but also for, real life actually, that, a lot of things, especially about exam things, making your own documents set up, like it's okay to ask, but ask people when it's actually, you have tried, but without, you don't know anything, you just go blindly. You will also not understand that what is the other person is telling you, because other person might not have always that kind of time to give you instruction from A to Z if you never have checked that one. Yeah, so this is one of the issue happening also with us being educational providers actually, so they are also in trouble many times. And many times when it's been investigated, actually what happened, we figure out that, the person actually haven't opened that account, just blindly, keep texting us.
Yeah.
So that's okay. I mean, we all get through it. Okay. One time we also get through it, you will also get through it. That's the reality, actually, just matter of time, actually.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So this, you have to make this account before you started your preparation, because this account is a permanent account. It will not expire.
Yes.
So once in a lifetime, you can open this account, and it is very easy. I must say it is very easy. Just you can try for this account.
Next is coming, I think, with your permission, like the best time to book the Mrcpch exam. We already knew when is the best time to take. Someone is preparing for FCPS, they can also take preparation side by side if they have few years of experience. Also very passionate to go to UK and become consultant physician. So that's also okay. And if you have, most importantly, if you have 2-3 years more time, if you can stay in the country and if you have the plan, then it's okay. And as Dr. Taman earlier said, if you have too fast plan to just, no, I just have to get into UK, then, initially PLAB can be a good choice. Then you come back to Mrcpch. So that's like the summary thing. So yes, so I'll give the floor to you. I mean, talking about the best time to book the exam.
Yeah. So booking exam is actually, it depends on your preparation. Suppose when I gave exam, I was consultant. So I took only 3 to 4 months because I already knew the format of the exam. I was seeing the question for long times, 2 years, 3 years. I was seeing the question pattern. So it was very easy for me to pass within 3 to 4 months. But I will suggest, if you are new, like you have only done 1 year or 6 month training, you are very new, you are not in any training program, you want to give Mrcpch, you can definitely give, because before the theory part, you don't need any training. But after the theory part, when you are in clinical exam, sometimes they need 2.5 years of training, because in the Mrcpch website, it is written that how many years of training did you have? Okay, and who is your educational supervisor? So you must enter on a training when you are going to have a clinical exam. But I saw many students who pass even without any professional training. They pass by the knowledge, but they will be, in problem when they will go and work in UK. Because if they want to work as a registrar level, they have to prove this, that I am confident, I am capable of being a registrar. So I think you should do some training, and then you can give the clinical exam. So when you are confident that I can give exam, 3 to 4 months preparation is enough for you, you are in a training program. But if you are very new, beginner, I will suggest you, please don't give exam before 6 months. Because if your foundation is not good, then you will stuck in every step, like in theory, AKP exam, in clinical exam, it will be a lot of wastage of money. So just for 1 and 2 months, don't take preparation, take at least 6 months. Then you read all the books that is suggested by us, suggested by the Mrcpch. Then you give your exam with confidence. 6 months for part 1 and 6 months for part 2. I will suggest for the beginners at least 1 year for the theory part, and take at least 6 months to 9 months for clinical part. Total 2 years is I will suggest that 2 years is the good time for completing all the Mrcpch exam. Although clinical exam, you will not give in one go. You cannot go in one place, because you have to, in clinical exam, you have to take a lot of preparation. Okay. So, and also there is seat is not available in clinical exam. That is a very big issue.
I think it's an issue for everywhere. I mean, not only for Mrcpch. If you go to PLAB2, if you go to MC2, any of those tools, it's always been competitive getting the final date. But I think after the COVID, it's become even more challenging. But that's a matter of patience. I think I will tell everyone that's just a matter of, you just all have to be patient for some time, actually. Maybe the desired month you don't get, but eventually you'll get the date, actually. That's the thing. But the most important, doctor was trying to say, just make sure that, you are fully prepared for going for the finals, actually. Yes. So,
yes,
I mean,
exactly.
so these are the best time, I mean, what you heard. And I think booking the exam 3-4 months prior, right? I mean, that's usually supposed to be fine. 2 or 3 months,
2
yes.
months, yeah.
Usually 2 months, actually, yes. Okay. Next is time required, which we were trying to say, time required to prepare. I think, maybe you can tell more about, how many hours and the things. So I think these are basic things, which I can also say that,
it depends.
Yeah, it depends.
Actually,
Beginner or advanced level, yes.
Yeah, it depends.
Yeah, that's true, actually. I think you already said it. Just for the beginners, make sure they take 6 months. This is the part you just said, actually. For the beginners, it has to be like 6 months. But already, like example, someone like Dr. Tamanna is already a consultant. So for them, they have gone through this. So that's fine, actually. Okay. And next, I think book would be the best thing. People want to hear from you, I guess. Yeah. So next thing is coming is actually the books related to the preparation, actually. So that's all yours now.
This is very, very important question. And this is the main point of our today's life. So books are many, a lot. But you cannot read a lot of books in 6 months. So I will suggest you that in Mrcpch exams, it is mainly guideline-based exams. Like, I don't know about the AMC, Shahriar bhai can tell better than me. But in Mrcpch exams, like even in PLAB and even in Mrcpch, they have guidelines, specific guidelines like Red Book, we call it Red Book Pediatric Guideline, that is the latest 2020 guideline. And there is another one that is the neonatal guideline. So these both guidelines are vital parts in Mrcpch, especially the FOP exam. There are other books like released by the Mrcpch that is called cases book. Cases book means it is 50 cases. Yeah, I mean they arrange the 50 cases in pediatrics in such a way that will tell you this is the exam question. So there are TAS 50 cases book and there are FOP 50 cases book. So this 50 cases book is the main book, I will say, is the main book for Mrcpch exam. And there is some other books like Science of Pediatrics book that is important for TAS. There is illustrated textbook that is important for FOP. And there are survival guides. This book is basically we read in AKP, I mean paper 2. But some chapters I teach in my students that this chapter is important, that chapter is important. So I will suggest you there are many books, but these books that are in the screen, you can take the screenshot. These books are mainly important for Mrcpch exam. And ethics, palliative, these are ethics, palliative, and statistics. Most of the students are afraid of these 2 or 3 topics because where they will read ethics, where they will read palliative. Because in Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Nepal, like this area, we are not so much developed in medical field. Few days back, I got an interview from Australia. And in that case also, I was asked 1 hour interview. And that also I was asked, main question was ethics, palliative. Did you saw how much cases you saw about the ethics, how much cases you saw about the palliative? So I will suggest you that read well before you giving exam to the Royal College of Pediatrics. Please give a thorough reading of ethics, palliative from the GMC website. There is a patient info website, there is GMC website, there is Mrcpch website. Any website you can use to read this ethics, palliative. In our teaching sessions, we usually give notes, and we usually make a compilation, I mean a short gist part that is important for ethics, palliative. I teach my students how to solve the ethical dilemma. I'm giving you an example. Suppose a child who is having alcohol intake. He is 12 years or 13 years. He can understand. He can understand what is alcohol, and he can understand that alcohol is very bad for health. But he doesn't want that his parents know about his alcohol consumption. Now, there is an ethical question that you will tell the parents or not. So this is called GILIC competency. In case when there is a GILIC competent child below 18 years, alcohol is illegal in UK. But there is a term that is called confidentiality. So you have to maintain the confidentiality in your patient. Okay, so you cannot just tell the parents that your child did that. No, because the child requested you. So it will breach the confidentiality. But on the other hand, you cannot leave the child as it is, because the child will die someday with alcohol intoxication. So you have to tell the child that I will suggest you to ask your parents from next, because this is a very great harm of in your health. So I will suggest you please talk to your parents about that. And also we have to arrange a meeting with the alcohol rehabilitation center for you, because you cannot come out of this, and this is bad impact for you. In 1 day or 2 days, your parents will come to know. So better you tell them before the parents come to know. So this is the way of dealing a teenager.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the handling technique in ethics. Okay, so you have to remember that ethics, palliative, these are very, very tough if you never heard about these things. Okay, palliative care, I always teach my students that palliative care means it is an umbrella care. It has, in the umbrella, there are 7 colors, right? So palliative has a 7 kind of doctors, 7, 8 kind of doctors, nurses. There are hospice care. There are, hospital chaplains. Many, many things that we never heard before, because in our countries these are not so much available.
Not so common.
Yeah. So palliative ethics, statistics. I would say that statistics is a terrifying subject for many of us. We always run from the statistics. Okay, so statistics is vital, because when you are going to do in UK, every day you will find someone is doing some research, like someone is doing a quality improvement project, someone is doing an audit, someone is doing a thesis, a journal. How you will compete them if you don't know the statistics basic? So you have to read statistics.
I feel, sorry for interrupting. I feel like this should be also part of, medical school. I mean, in these countries, I mean, we have that one we call community medicine, and, some bastard, so-called bastard. And I'm sure Dr. Taman will agree equally with me. Those are not the thing that is asked at this level. It's total different, especially you will might be backpass with ethics, biostat, epidemiology type things actually. So if any one of you are third year and watching this video, or later, we'll upload this one in YouTube. So when you will see it, I mean, if you invest some more time on this, ethical and biostat, it's not only that Mrcpch, in your career, wherever you go, I mean, that ethics, then this, biostat, and even psychiatry. I mean, it might not be that required here, but some of the other exams like, AMC, PAB, Yosemite, those type of exams, if you come, you must have to read psychiatry. And I found most of the doctors don't know much except for some of the definitions of delusion, hallucination, and some of the differences, what is delirium, and so that very different at this level. So please work on that one. Solve some question banks from early life. If you make it in little habit, I mean, some of the good banks, I mean, those are Mrcpch has banks, Mrcp has banks. Every exam has some banks, so which might be a little different from your own syllabus of your med school. But if you take little interest, you are making your future more stronger, because some of you are very good students. Whatever you are given, you guys can, absorb it. But thing happens, the wrong things are given to absorb often, especially subject like community medicine, lot of definitions. To be honest, I never found them useful in my later life, actually, to be honest. So many definitions to study. Yeah. Anyways, I mean, so these are some of the books. I'm having conversation with Dr. Tamanna here. And I think some of the very important, Doctor was highlighting about the ethical, palliative, and, some of the other part one and those part two books actually. And of course the recalls. I mean, every exam, if you go, recall has a very important part to play. Recall means past papers actually. So you solve more past paper, the higher the chance it will be repeated. Yeah. So that's the thing. I like to ask one thing to Dr. Tamanna here, that example, say some of the exam, those I conduct like exam AMC, there's a lot of books to follow, but example, John Murtagh is being one of the main book for AMC preparation, John Murtagh and AMC handbook, and there are a lot of other things, psychiatry from Kaplan, blah, blah, these things come, but John Murtagh being main book. For PLAB, there's a lot of, coincide materials, notes available, but it's still a lot of people from the early life, they can study Oxford and relevant things to make their preparation more better. So what is some of the main book for this Mrcpch? I mean, that this is one of the book they all should have, even a fifth year. Many times, when we were fourth year, fifth year, we took a lot of interest actually, but we don't know. So if they want to make or keep one book in collection, what book that should be?
Yeah, if they want one book, I will say the guidelines. Okay. Guidelines and the science of pediatrics.
It's available in our local markets, right? And
everything available. Even my notes are available if you go and ask.
Okay. Good one.
These are now open to all. But I will suggest you that when you are in intern, if you follow these guidelines during management of patient, it will be very, very good. And when you are going to do the honorary medical officer or medical officer training and post-graduation training, if you just read those guideline pages, at the same time you will take your preparation for part one, and also it will be your improvised practice. It will be your practice will be highly improved, because I follow these guidelines in my practice also.
So that's this first one, right? Guideline for pediatrics and neonatal. That's the one of the main book. Of course, everything has its own importance. Things like ethics and things mandatory for this level, but that's one of the main book. Yes, that's great information. More books coming out. I think we'll hear from Dr. now that this TAS book actually. There's two part you have heard already, FOP and the TAS, like the exams. So TAS books are this, right, Doctor?
Yeah, so these are the TAS books actually. That is the TAS cases book, Science of Pediatrics. I already described these things. Ethics, palliative, pharmacology, I did not describe. So pharmacology is also an important part in Mrcpch part one theory exam. So at least I think 6 to 7 questions you will get from pharmacology. So this is very vital. 6 to 7 questions means a lot.
A lot.
Yeah, basic subjects like anatomy, microbiology, pathology, there will be some question, but not all. Like I saw the question of USMLE, AMC, lab. They are mainly basic subjects, but in Mrcpch it will be clinical. Your questions are mainly clinical basic. So only few questions, like 2, 3, 4 questions you will get from basic subjects. Not much. Many questions will get from sample paper and recall, and 4 to 5 questions from the statistics. So in our batches, like as Dr. Shahriar also have batches, we usually highlight the recalls. We have 2, 3, 4 classes for recalls. And these recalls are very vital. But be very careful that recalls have a mistake, because it is a recall. I mean, recall bias.
Just remembered from the hall. Recall, just remembered from the hall. Recall.
So there will be a recall bias. This is a statistical chapter, recall bias. So in the recall, there will be some bias. So don't get biased. True. So read your books and see the question pattern. I will say that this is enough. Read the books and see the question pattern, and this is enough to pass the TAS exam. True.
That's fantastic, Doctor. Some of the very important things which came out from the discussion. So I think people will get full idea now about the books, and if anyone is fourth year, fifth year, want to keep at least one book in collection, this one you can keep in collection and keep solving questions from the early life will be good. A lot of people also have planned to get into the pediatrics field. We often heard. Then a question I think is coming, prospect. I think a bit already Dr. Tamanna said, but again, we'd like to hear from her about that one. Yeah.
So as I said, this is the highest postgrad qualification. It is not a degree basically, it is a membership exam. And after this exam, you will pass OET, and then you will get the GMC registration, and you can directly work as a register level, or some students work as higher level, and then work as a specialist in other parts of the world. I heard many students who passed Mrcpch and working in the United Kingdom as a consultant, Saudi Arabia, Oman, these Arab Gulf countries. Also, in some private hospitals like in Apollo, United Hospital, they are hiring these doctors as a specialist also. And
Mrcpch, sorry for interrupting, doctor. Mrcpch is still, I would say, it's not as much as like the MRCP, a lot nowadays available even in our country. But Mrcpch is still, if you do it, there's very high chances, you will get, a quick success even in your country, because it's not much available, Mrcpch holders actually. Yeah, so that can be one of the point, even in case those are planning in the dilemma that whether continue CPS and Mrcpch, do the both, as doctor said, do the both, and you have both degrees now actually. And even in some case, if you don't migrate, still, you will be given more importance than any other consultants actually, because you have FCPS and now you have the Mrcpch, and so your promotion and a lot of success, getting more patients, and most importantly, you can treat patient much better than others actually. That's very important. Don't forget that one.
Yeah. Because if you have this Mrcpch, you have the highest knowledge about the recent pediatric updates. You have to learn the recent pediatric updates. Then you have to qualify this exam. So FCPS and Mrcpch and or MD Mrcpch, I'll suggest you that go for both. When you are giving theory, go for both. When you are giving clinical, go for both. This is the best idea.
True. Yeah. So I think it has good prospects. So I think I also feel the same actually. Courses for CH online available. I mean, that's your part to say actually. Yeah. I mean, how, what are the different time or in any of your upcoming batch, which you can tell them actually. Yeah.
I'm teaching Mrcpch for last 2 years now. Almost 9 batches came out of me. It's a huge batches. Actually, every batch teaches minimum 20 to maximum 55 to 60 students. So there are almost 300 plus students pass out. So this is a great.
It's a good number.
I will say that.
I know.
Yeah, this is satisfaction. I will say satisfaction.
Yeah, true.
That Lord are very senior. I have a student that is 60 years of age. I have a student that is 55 years of age. And I have a student that is only past MBBS, that is, I think, 26 or 27 years of age. There's a lot of age gap in our batches. Everyone is giving Mrcpch and we work as a platform. We do class in Zoom like that. In Zoom meeting, we do class. My class is a little bit lengthy because I cannot teach in small words. I have
the same problem with me, I guess. Yes. No, actually, say if we want to take shortcuts, there is always it's possible, right? But it's actually depends on actually the person. Like we, I think, share a lot of similar mental things. That's for the reason many times I talk to Dr. Manna because I also found that similar type of sharing similar type of values. Especially. So she also took long classes, I figured out actually, because why classes went wrong, long, the reason, because, we cannot take shortcut actually. And, I can tell one topic in just 1-2 words, but I can also explain it in more better way. Always that's the room actually. And if I want to explain it in a little better way, that always takes some more time actually than usual actually. So, so this is the particular thing.
And I always tell that success has no shortcuts. So please do hard work. This word I always say that if you do hard work now, it will pay you in your future life. It will pay you in many. Like I never, I never did banner, poster, nothing. I had just students spread my names that madam teaches like that. She non-stop teaches 4 hours, non-stop. So that is the big, actually, achievement that my students bring students. So I do not
That's the best way. That's how it should be. The best way, actually, those someone become happy after studying and recommending. We also want to be spreaded in that way, to be honest, right? But rather than bannering too much, spreading the word by recommending someone. And when someone came and said that one of your students passed and he or she recommended, we feel more better, I think, in that way, actually. Yes, because
I get my student messages during the exam result day. Maximum messages are not my students. They message me that, madams, I used your channels, all the channels.
Oh, yes, true.
I used your channels and I studied myself and I passed. I said, Alhamdulillah. Because this is also a kind of, this is also a kind of charity that you are doing, you are spreading the good things. You are not
actually, even, not everyone from same religion, I think, but, those of us from Muslim background, we call a word Sadqa is Zaria. So that means, you share your knowledge, and if you make it available for big people, the more people will get to learn or get benefited from that, you will get someday, not in this world, but some other day will be benefited, actually. So that's so fantastic, Doctor, to hear. And I think, Doctor, you have a couple of channels, I think, for, I think the faster way, I think, is to find you out is, I think, the YouTube and the Facebook very easily, I guess. Yeah, these are the two names I can figure out, I guess. Yeah. So some given in the sites and some are given here. So you can just find her out very easily and subscribe that one. Yeah. So when is your next batch, Doctor? I mean,
next batch is starting in this month, September. That is part 2 starting in 14th September, and part 1 is starting, I think, last part of September. So these both the batches are now I have actually changed a little bit of my my style, because you previously used to read more theory. Now I will teach my students to become more smarter, because day by day it is going to be smarter.
Question pattern also changes. So it depends on time, lot of new topics. Every exam has the same prospect.
Say previously I did not use some topics. That is, I'm added in this now new batch, because I saw in last 2 years question pattern is changing every year. So now I think the pattern and style of the teaching should be a little bit changed. So I am planning for changing the pattern. But alhamdulillah, everything is going fine. The students are enrolling every day, day by day. And I can say that even if you don't enroll any course, you can study by yourself, but just you need to make yourself a little bit polished. I mean, you have to know the question pattern. You have to know and a little bit of knowledge. Like if I say water deprivation test, read this. It is not so helpful. So go to my channel. There is water deprivation test. I have explained in 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, that is for all the students. I'm not saying for my students. That's for all the students. So go to that channel and see the video. It will be clear to you, the endocrine test. I have explained the neurology, that is visual pathway. I have explained the, respiratory. I have explained the hemato-oncology. Many systems I have explained in my channels. So some students are excellent. I cannot tell you. Some students got 95% marks in last exam. Can you imagine 95% marks? And I cannot imagine.
That's very good. Yes, huge marks.
So those students are actually highly exceptional students. And those students, for them, nothing is obstacle. They are now preparing for AKP, my last batch students. Some of them admitted already in my batch, AKP batch, because they are highly satisfied. So I will suggest you guys that follow these channels. And also, if you want to give lab with Dr. Shahriar, I know him previously from many months. And Dr. Shahriar have also excellent batches. So Lab 1, I think...
Yes. Keep me in your prayers, actually, yes. Yeah, I deal with those MC and Plab things, more root level, and Dr. Tamanna deals with the more, big short things, actually. So that's okay, but it's always been a pleasure whenever I talk, because a lot of things I understand very immediately when Dr. Tamanna said and correlate, actually. So I think another day, I think she called me, and maybe I just said can we talk a little later because I just finished class. So because you will understand how actually it felt after taking a long class. So mouth and the jaw and it's become very tough. I mean, you really don't want to talk much that time. Actually, it's felt like you are dizzy and you are sitting and you just need a 30, 40 minutes of your own actually. Normally I don't skip phones actually. Yeah, I think same goes with Appa also. I mean, does not skip phones actually. We always pick up phones actually. It can be emergency, it can be a patient, it can be things we're always active. So that's why I pick up phone and say, just finished class. So I can understand Appa say, I'll call you back shortly. So, so this is a few things are very common.
Very
actually.
common, very common.
So no, it's good actually, and I also can see, I mean, a lot of doctors are coming out from our countries actually and putting a lot of effort in the educational sector. And the aim is same. The aim is to enrich actually. So overall the background and overall the education would be enriched. So because I will work at certain level of MC plan or even your familiar whatever. So, but the time I will finish, some other will take over after that actually. So in that way, things will be enriched day by day. So that's the whole plan and the aim actually. Yes, So no one can continue for lifetime. So it's like for a time everyone continues, make things enriched. So that's all from my side. Nothing much story, and it's so wonderful to have you. And we'll see, like, if there is any question. We have some doctors too. They are also attending now in the Zoom, and few maybe in the YouTube. So if anyone have any question, feel free to ask. Actually, you can unmute and ask. Is that okay, Appa? If anyone is like to ask anything.
Yeah, just open the mic or you can ask any question regarding
yes. That's fine. It's okay. You can also write down in the chat box.
Also the people who are watching from YouTube now, from Dr. Shahriar's channel, and later I will upload in my channel also. You can ask questions down in the comment section. I will, as much as possible, I will try answer. And I saw Dr. Shahriar also answering in his YouTube channel. So you can answer below the video. And please let us know how you felt about this combined program. And also my WhatsApp number, everything is given in my channels. So you can ask me any question regarding the Mrcpch pathway. And I would like to help you always. And
I think best way to find out Appa in this way, in this YouTube channel and the Facebook pages, and I think the numbers and things are given there. So I think it's better you guys go there and enter, because later thing happen, WhatsApp number and the things people lost it later. But if you join any Facebook group or YouTube channel, you'll always find it later. It's very easy actually. So I guess we'll happy to answer later. I think not a problem. I mean, if some people are shy sometimes, those are watching. And for us, I think most of the informations are already given in. So sometimes,
I'm telling one thing, last 2 years, my students are now now working as a teachers. They also provide teaching. So this is very good. That means my country, Bangladesh, has progressed so much. 2 years back, there was hardly 1 or 2 Mrcpch course providers. Now there is, I think, 4 or 5 Mrcpch providers in last 2 years. Okay, so maximum of them are my students. And I like to congratulate all of the course providers, whole Bangladesh, because you and me might not be present all the time here. True. They will be our, the followers, they will be our future ancestors, I can say ancestors. So true. I will say that please be very meticulous in your study, should be organized. I will say that study hard, but also act smart. Okay, like you have to be very smart in your exams. It is not like you are doing study, you are not showing any smartness. It is not like that. You have to be very smart. And If you like this video, please let us know in the comment section.
Yeah, so we'll re-upload. I mean, currently we're not saving it, but we will re-upload it in our YouTube channels shortly. And I have two more questions from my YouTube channel, Doctor. One of them asked actually this one, like her name is Mrcpch. So she asked like, ma'am, do we need to get Indian medicine license to do Mrcpch?
Yeah, if you are a graduate from India, then of course you need your medical licensing, or you need to show the MBBS certificate that is verified.
I think personally, I think the doctor didn't mention actually from which medical college she graduated. Actually, is she graduated from India or is she graduated from actually? Because I'm feeling like ma'am, do we need Indian license? Because there's a lot of doctor even from India. They go to Ukraine, Russia, China. Yeah. Then they need to give the MCI or the foreign license exam later. So she is asking basically. I think that should be the question. That she still does she require that license exam of her country to sit for Mrcpch actually? Yeah.
Okay. So for that you have to go to the GMC registered medical colleges. Because if any medical college you are in, like in Bangladesh also 4 or 5 medical colleges, they are not registered yet in GMC. Mm-hmm. So if you pass from that, you have to take special permission from GMC. So please make sure that your medical college is on the list of GMC. Then it is very easy for you to give exam. No need of medical licensing from any country. Just your medical college should be recognized by GMC. That MBBS certificate will be, granted.
Just to add here, a lot of people like those who are watching that they should know one thing: the college or the institution that is responsible for your verification or EPIC verification is your medical college, not the institution you are working right now. Yeah. I hope so. Everyone is clear. So that means the doctor passed. What is the doctor is right now doing in India? That is not matter if she passes from outside India. So that medical college is, is it registered or not? That's the only thing. And they are responsible. That's another important thing because some medical colleges, it's very new. So also the senior people don't know what to do. So in that case, you might need to also guide them a little bit by asking GMC that how to proceed actually. Otherwise, most cases, they also already know. If you're from a good medical college, already have a long history of medical, those medical college already have expert people just for doing these things, verification actually. For example, I'm from Holy Family Medical. So in our medical, like there's a registered person, Saiful Bhai, he's extremely expert. We just have to make a call to him. And so the verification is when it might came, give me a duration and just tell this duration. Yeah. Okay, I'll just tell you when it's done actually. So it's that professional actually. But so not every medical, like even in government medical, sometimes I found that not person, because it's a person-based thing, right? The registered person who is actually taking care of the paper depends on the person. So every person in this world varies person to person. So the same thing goes here actually. It's not matter about government, private, or outside country. It depends on the what person is dealing there actually. That's more important actually. And one doctor actually asked one thing, but I think that has been already answered. Can you give it without IELTS waiting? I think the answer is a yes, right, doctor? Like,
yes, you can give,
Yeah, so that's one of the things. Yeah. So I think that's the thing. Yeah. And I think hopefully everyone liked, and thank you so much everyone for joining the session. So we broadcasted it from Shahriar's Medical Academy page, and in our YouTube channel is Shahriar Mrcpch. So thank you so much. So today I have the conversation with Dr. Tamanna. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and I hope so everyone enjoyed the session actually. It was concise and quick. I think carries the maximum information. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. See you all, inshallah, and hope you have a very great life ahead. Thanks. And we will wrap up now. Thank you, Dr. Shahriar, for having a nice session to arrange with us. And in future, we will come together with another topic related with medical.
Yeah, sure. And if anything interesting, someday maybe some topic-related discussion we can also do, just for fun. Yeah. So I give some of my points. You can add some yours. So.
Mrcpch.
Yeah, lot of things. Like example, Hirschsprung disease is also common in our case. So you know even more better. You can add some lot of points for us. So that will be fun someday. Yes. So thank you so much, doctor. Have a lovely day. Have a lovely evening. Yes.
Thank you.